Hey, it's Abby J, and if you are a student in high school or college, this video is for you. I am sharing 21 tips on how to be successful in school. These are 21 habits that successful students have, and let's go through them. Let's talk about how you can develop these habits so that you can have a successful experience at school. I'm Abby J, I'm your life coach, and my mission is to help you on your journey of personal development, adulthood, to do so with a faith-filled perspective so that you can crush your life. So let's talk about school, because being successful in school can set you up for the rest of your life. So I'm going to share with you 21 habits that will make all the difference. And the first habit of successful students is understanding the value of school. Now, some of you are rolling your eyes at that, but hear me out. When you understand that school is important and that your grades matter and that what you're doing actually matters and can make a difference in your future, it affects the level of effort that you put into it. So don't overestimate how much your mindset and how you perceive school can influence your attitude, your grades, and your behavior. The second habit of successful students is they do what they can at school. I did this and it drastically changed how much homework I brought home every night. I very, very, very rarely had homework because I did what I could at school. I'd follow along in my lessons. I'd try to, work ahead, work out math problems that were actually in our book that we were assigned to. I never wasted any time at school talking to my friends or not paying attention in class, because I knew that if I wanted to do my own thing at home, I needed to have as little homework as possible. So successful students make the use of the time that they have at school. Okay, you're not gonna like this one, but the third habit of successful students is they put away their phones. I know it's really tempting to be texting during class, and honestly, we all think that we can do it and still pay attention, but we don't. So make sure that you are putting away your phone when you're in class so that you can focus, you can get some of your homework done, and you can really be present with where you are. It will make a huge difference to your level of understanding of each of the courses that you take. The fourth habit that you need to be successful in school is learning how to balance school and the rest of your life. Sometimes, depending on our level of involvement in high school or level of involvement in college and how much pressure we have, either way, it just can really get out of scale. Whether we don't care about our grades at all because we just care about having a socially good time, or we care too much about our grades and we stress out and then we don't have time to do fun things and extracurricular activities. Make sure that you balance those out. That's going to help you enjoy school more. And the fifth tip goes right along with that, which is to balance hard and easy classes. I am all about pushing yourself. I took so many AP classes when I was in high school, and it paid off drastically for me. That's why I was able to graduate college with my bachelor's in less than 2 years. But here's the thing. My first semester as a sophomore, I was gung-ho, signed up for every hard class that I possibly could, pushed myself to the max on English and math and just everything. And school got so hard, and I could do it, but it was a drag and it just wasn't exciting. I felt like my junior and senior years I did a better job. I did a better job of balancing my schedule. So be sure that you've got some hard classes and you've got some fun classes. And I would suggest, it's just a personal suggestion, that you mix up your days so that not all your hard classes are on A day and all your easy classes are on B day, but that you can swap them. Because I'll never forget waking up and being is it A day or is it B day? Because if it was B day, I was gonna cry because it was so hard, right? But A day was such a breeze. So if you can, try to mix those up so that you find the balance. Tip number 6 of successful students is that they push themselves. So often in high school and even in those first couple of years of college, people kind of have this attitude of whatever, I'm just here for a good time, it all doesn't matter. Okay, I'm all about having fun, don't get me wrong, but you are going to have to pay for every time that you don't push yourself. What do I mean by that? Well, if you're in college, you literally are going to have to pay for classes that you have to retake, or semesters that you have to stay longer in school, and housing and books and tuition and student fees because you didn't graduate when you should have, because you're just having fun those first couple of semesters. High school, maybe you can't go to the colleges you want to if you don't push yourself and get the grades that you need. So I know it's hard. I know you've got a lot on your plates, but be sure to push yourself in the right way to get good grades and do your very best that you possibly can. Success habit number 7 of students that are extremely successful of school is that they trust themselves. This is actually huge and is so overlooked. Be sure that you can trust yourself to do a good job, not to cheat on your papers, to, put your best foot forward. That is what this tip is all about. Success habit number 8 is to show respect to your teachers. Now, you're not gonna believe this, but my most successful video to the date of filming this video has been how to get teachers to like you. Now, this video to me, it's got amazing tips. Do not get me wrong. That's why it's like so, I've got, about 50,000 views on it. But here's the thing. I just was starting out. It's a little cringeworthy, but if you want to check that out, if you want to make fun of Abby, right when I started out of YouTube, go ahead and check that out on success tips on how to get teachers to like you, because the info in that is actually pretty amazing. It's just like I'm so new to YouTube. So keep that in mind, but check that out. And number 9, kind of going into tune with success habit number 8, is to not be afraid to ask questions. I was bad at this. I had a bad experience. I traced this back. I'm like, why do I not raise my hand in class? Because in 2nd grade, I raised my hand and it went bad. The teacher yelled at me. She chewed me out. And being a really good student, a really quiet student, somebody who doesn't usually raise their hand, that devastated me as a little 2nd grader. So it was really hard for me to raise my hand and to ask questions. But I am challenging you, especially when you don't understand, or especially when you're trying to engage more in the lesson, raise your hand and ask questions. Successful habit number 10 of students that crush it in school is that they have an organization system. Now, for me in high school, every single year, I kind of changed my organization system. I had folders, I had different binders, then I had different backpacks for different days. However you want to do it, just find what works for you and stick to it. And tip number 11 is to use a planner. Now, I know you might not be a planner person. I'm personally a planner person, but let me convert you to this, because you're gonna have so many assignments, so many little things that you gotta remember of oh, I gotta text my group, or this is due on Tuesday, or actually she's moving the test into next week. Don't trust yourself to put that in your head. Don't trust yourself to put it in your phone because your notes is so long. Get a planner. Schools usually give one for free at the start of the semester, so be sure you snag that because you actually want to use that to stay organized. The successful habit that you need to cultivate for number 12 to be a great student is to value your health. I get when you're young, you're in college especially because you're on your own finally, and in high school, it is so easy to eat junk, to go to all the parties, and I just remember there always at these parties were bowls of Swedish fish and candy and soda and pizza, and all that's great. I love all those things, don't get me wrong, but if you don't value your health and start to establish healthy habits of eating and exercising every day, it's gonna catch up to you. First of all, you're not gonna feel good. You're gonna be a little bit more sluggish because honestly, right now, you're so young that your body probably won't change. But I'm just saying for your skin and for your health and for healthy habits, make sure that you're putting your health as a top priority. The 13th habit of successful students is they're thinking long term. They have the bigger picture in mind. This is massive because regardless if you're in high school and you have senioritis, or if you're just starting out in college, there is going to come a moment when you're like, what am I doing? What is the purpose behind all of this? You got to think long term. You got to know your end goal, because it's going to pull you through those times when there's drama. It's going to pull you through those times when you aren't sure what you want to do with your life. You gotta know that school is gonna end, that there's an end goal, and there's an end person that you wanna be at the end of this journey. Which goes right along with the 14th habit that successful students have, which is they have a plan for after school. Now, I don't mean after school when you get home and you have a snack and you go to bed and repeat. I mean when you are done, when you graduate high school and when you graduate college. A lot of people actually don't think that far ahead, right? We always plan our goals around the school year, and you're like, yeah, one day I'm going to graduate and go to college, or one day I'm going to graduate and get this marketing degree, but then what? Take some time. If you haven't yet, I want you to check out some of my other videos on goal setting, on creating a life that you love, because you're going to want to use those tips to build a dream that's outside of school. Because that, just like I said with tip 13, it's going to pull you through some of these times of drama. It's going to pull you through some of these really hard, long nights when tests are coming, because you know where you are going. Tip 15 is one that I swear by, which is to find joy at school. Now, I enjoyed school, but there were also some days that I hated it. And there were also some days where I just thought, this is the dumbest thing I've ever had to do, right? I challenge you to find joy every single day, whether that's talking to a friend that you love, whether that is, taking some time to enjoy your classes, whether that's reading a book that you love for an assignment. Like, find the joy at school. And even if it's as simple as, hey, I love to dress up and I love to go and be seen somewhere, that's awesome. Or maybe you think if I could just get it to the dances, because I just have so much fun at dances. I want you to find joy every single day and something to look forward to when you're going to school. The 16th habit of successful students is they know their strengths and they know their weaknesses. Why does this matter? This matters because, one, you'll know what classes to sign up for. You'll also know where to put most of your time and your energy. Maybe you really struggle with math, and so you know that math has got to be your day where you've got some easier classes around it and not as much homework because you got to focus on math when you get home. Maybe vice versa. Maybe you are amazing at math. Maybe you're a math major. Okay, so make sure that your other classes of science and English and all those other ones that maybe give you a little bit more trouble, that you're allocating the right amount of time, because math's going to be a breeze for you. You love it. So make sure that's organized and that you know, okay, this is where my strengths are and these are where my weaknesses are, so I can play to them and use them to my advantage. Tip 17 is that you got to create this success habit of feeling confident. Now, confidence is actually something that we really struggle with, especially in school. So I've done a ton of videos on this. So I'm going to link those down below for you and not spend too much time on this tip, because I know that you've got to work on this, and confidence makes all the difference about if school's enjoyable, but I've got more in-depth tips for you to check out in another video. Successful habit number 18 that students use to crush it in school is they know their learning style. Now, there's lots of different learning styles, and off the top of my head, there's auditory, visual, and physical. So do you like to actually be engaged with your body to learn a lesson? This might be where you stand up and act out stuff. This might be where you do things to help you remember stuff, with your hands. You're engaging your body is how I like to think of that style. Another style is that you just like to listen and hear it. And when you can hear it, you can process it. So you like lectures. You like it when the teacher just stands up and tells you everything to do. Another learning style is visual. So you love watching movies. You love watching other people act it out. You love seeing how things work. Right? There's all different types of learning styles. You might be a mix of both. But when you learn your learning style, you can figure out that, hey, Abby J, your girl here, when somebody spells something to me, when parents are oh, kids, we're going to the DOCTOR. I am clueless when people do that. I am the kid that's where are we going? Because I really struggle with spelling and hearing it and not being able to write it down. That's really hard for me. Isn't that kind of weird? Some of you are that is not a struggle I've ever had. That's a real struggle for me. So when people spell stuff to me, sometimes I can get it backwards. I have a slight bit of dyslexia. And so knowing that, I can play to my strengths and my different learning styles so that I can memorize stuff and learn and be as successful as I can in school. So figure out yours and figure out how to use it to your advantage. Oh, successful habit number 19 is so critically important. And if you get anything from this video, it might just be this tip, which is that successful students don't let failure define them. All of us are going to have a teacher that doesn't like us. All of us are going to have an assignment where we fail. All of us are going to have embarrassing things happen to us at school, and you just have to know it happens. It doesn't say anything about you or how intelligent you are or how smart you are. And I know that's hard to believe because you're getting grade on it, right? But it has nothing to do with who you are as a person. Sometimes we just have to learn. Now, I remember I'm trying to think of all the times I failed in school. So you ready? I failed. So theater was my thing. I was known and really good at theater. I failed at directing a scene. And I learned that I like to act, I don't like to direct. In college, I had a PR writing class and I wanted to be a writer. And my teacher hated me. There was nothing I could do. She just did not like me. And so I really struggled in that class because she picked apart my work very viciously, I felt like. And that's typically not my style, to be like, oh, this teacher picked on me. But I just have to realize that, guess what? Not everybody's gonna like me. Guess what? I'm not gonna succeed at everything I do. Physics kicked my butt in school, and I was a 4.0 student. Physics kicked my trash, and I was just grateful to get a good grade and get out of there. So just know that. Just know that. Try your best, and your best is all you can do, because failure does not define you. Oh, successful habit number 20 is critical throughout life. So if you can learn it now as a student, it's going to serve you later. And that is that successful students know stress relieving techniques that work for them. For me, going on a run clears my mind, clears my heart, clears just my level of stress. It just goes away because I can't even breathe, right? Running works for me. What works for you? Do you need to decompress? Do you need to go talk to friends? Do you need to go hang out with your girlfriends? Do you need to, just breathe and meditate? Do you need to ponder on it? Do you need to go punch like a punching bag? Figure out your stress relieving technique and use it, because school is stressful. You're gonna have days that are hard. You're gonna have finals weeks. You're gonna have stressful moments. So learn healthy ways to deal with that stress. Okay, the 21st habit of successful students is they know their effort max. Now, you're going to be like, what is that? It's a term I made up. I love to define it this way because when I go in and I speak to students in school groups, I talk to them about this effort max. And what is that? Well, it varies by person, and it's the level of effort that you are willing to give to a subject. Now, hear me out. A lot of people think, oh, well, sweet, I hate math, so I'm not going to give it any effort. My effort max is 0. That's not true. When it comes to school, and especially like certain subjects, and you'll find it for you, it differs per person, but when you go to like college, and like for me, it was PR writing, I could not make that teacher happy no matter what I did. And because I felt like I was being judged and like critically analyzed, I couldn't, like I kept getting worse and worse and worse. And so I had to come up with this, like, what's my effort max for PR writing? And it was, you know what, I'm going to try my best. I'm going to, go through an extra round of editing. I'm going to, do my work a day before so I can let it sit, ponder it, review it, and then I got to turn it in. And I got to get the grade that I get, because that's the max amount of effort that I can give this class and still be sane and take care of all my other responsibilities. And guess what? I barely pulled an A- in that class with all of that effort. And I just had to know, guess what? That was what I had to offer at the time. Maybe you're going through some really intense, like friendship drama, or maybe your parents or family are going through really hardship. Your effort max that you're able to give to school might be a little bit different. So just know that. Know that, hey, I'm going to give my best, and in math, I'm going to give it an extra hour. And in science, I'm pretty good at that, so I'm just going to give it, my average effort so that I can get a B or better. Just know that and monitor that. And it's okay. Like, this is coming from a girl who got straight A's. But it is okay to just be able to give a subject your best. And if your best is a B, then that's awesome. If your best is a C and you genuinely tried really hard, that's awesome. We need to celebrate effort more than we celebrate achievement, more than we celebrate getting an A, because you truly can have two students who gave the same amount of effort. They gave their effort max, and one gets a C and one gets an A because of where they are and what they have to offer. So don't judge yourself if your effort max is a little bit different for each subject. Okay, my friends, I hope that those successful habits has your head turning with some ideas on how you can maximize your success at school. So give this video a thumbs up and leave me a comment on which tip you are going to try, or where you are in school. And if you personally want to be coached by me or have a question for me, please leave it down below. And if it's a little more private, you can DM me or send me an email. I would love to, give you some time and attention to your questions and your thoughts and coach you through the problems that you're facing. So, best of luck in school. Know that this time is so fundamental to your success and your character and who you're becoming. And I am so incredibly proud of you for trying so hard. So, hopefully these tips help you, and I hope you'll subscribe to my channel so you get more tips on adulting and increasing the person that you want to become. So, Can't wait to see you in my next video. Abby J out.